Now, the state of Maryland is trying to take a not-so-subtle shot at President Trump. They have a bill that would require a president to release their tax returns if they want to get on the state's ballot. Now, Evan Koslof is live at the White House. And Evan, would Maryland be the first state to do this? And if so, just how dope are we?
Well, that's up for interpretation, I guess, Reese, right? But other states have tried. They would be the first one to successfully do this right now. It's been a rallying call for Democrats asking the president to release his tax returns. And yet here we are a year in and into his presidency and still no tax returns. So that's what this bill would try to push any future president to try and do. Let's tell you a little bit about what this bill would do. First off, it requires all future candidates for president or vice president to release their tax returns 65 days before the election. Now, similar bills, as I was saying, were proposed in California, New Jersey, but they were vetoed by the governors. And in Hawaii, they had a similar proposal, but then the AG was raising concerns about some lawsuits. So what does this mean? If you're curious, Maryland is worth 10 electoral votes. So that means, and it's a winner-take-all system, so whoever gets the majority of the votes get all the electors. So that's why it's important. But this state's gone blue since 1988. So this change wouldn't be too much of an impact if President Trump were to fail to release his tax returns. So look, I drove up to Annapolis to speak with a sponsor about this, and I asked him, is this just politics? Here's what he had to say.
I think Maryland voters deserve to have that information. Until the last presidential election, 14 presidents from both parties voluntarily submitted their income tax returns. The people came to expect it. It was very important. Unfortunately, President Trump declined to do that. We want to make sure that practice begins again in 2020.
All right, so the next step is the House of Delegates, but the big question is going to be what will Governor Larry Hogan do? He's a Republican, but he's a centrist Republican, so if this does pass the House of Delegates, we'll see whether he signs this. So, Reese, back to you, up to your interpretation about whether this is dope or not.
All right, thanks, Evan, but that is a low blow making fun of our 10 electoral votes. I remember that. Now, both New Jersey and California have attempted to pass similar measures. As he mentioned, they're both vetoed. Let's go to Jan.
Did he just
what
say
else
whether it's dope or not? Is that what he just
happening right now?
said?
That's what Evan Koslof, reporter, just said.